got 600 and something videos.
I'm glad
Amazing.
you said that right before I hit
I know.
record.
I was trying to be real. I just like, oh my gosh. I was like, oh my
That's
god.
funny.
I've seen that. Yeah. Oh.
And I even had watch this. Oh, I figured it out. Can you hear that?
Yeah, music's going.
All right, everybody. That was the worst transition segue ever into rock comedy. I don't know if you could actually hear that. Audra, Polite Kitty, has been working on tech skills behind the scenes. Holy cow. So I'm going to ask the comedians, could you actually hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Ooh, wow, stepping it up a notch. Holy crap. It is Saturday night, your first Saturday of the month, and welcome to Raw Comedy, brought to you by Suitman Productions and hosted by Polite Kitty. This is where we bring you your ridiculously amazing women, and we have branched out to be inclusive to your non-binary friends, to include people like me, because I'm the host and I have to be included in here somewhere. I do like to say this joke every single time. I know Sharita has heard it and it never lands, but we're gonna raw dog this baby because we are ridiculously amazing women and deliriously amazing genderless people.
Yes.
And I still love that joke and I'm going to tell it every single time.
As you should.
Yes. So your first actually your next act up is learning all kinds of new things. Your next act for tonight, I'm just going to say your first one is going to be the lovely human, as I scroll up here, Riva, right? Washington, D.C. Pronouns are she, I'm hoping. Okay, she, and she is going to tell you all about herself. This is going to be all new for me because Riva is someone new for me as well. So give it up for Riva.
Yay.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I've had a pretty crazy weekend. This weekend was the All Aquarium Catfish Convention, which I have just come from. I don't know if you can see my T-shirt. Um, this is real life. If you can hear my cat, he is fine. So I am a fish biologist, so this does make some sense. Um, do we have any nerds here?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Excellent. I love my people. So, as a fish biologist, I'm basically an aquarium nerd who went pro. Um, my cat is currently biting my hair right now, so that's how we're doing. And even though I sort of settled on the aquarium nerd paradigm, I've dabbled in all these different kinds of nerddom. So, like, I did a year of marching band in high school. It's a classic nerd activity. And my 1 year marching band was a real doozy. There's a lot of reasons for this. Our band director was a sociopath, and the music that they chose for our field show was Phantom of the Opera. Now, however stupid you think it is to play Phantom of the Opera at a high school football game, I promise it is stupider. Um, the Venn diagram of like high school football fans and musical theater fans are two separate circles uh, with no overlap. So no one had any idea what was going on at any point. That did not stop us though. There we were every Friday night, putting our heart and soul into music of the night for the Friday Night Lights crowd. Um, and our field show would start with that classic theme, dun, 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 dun. And then the sousaphones were supposed to sidestep menacingly onto the field. Like that was their choreography note. And let me tell you, it is difficult to look menacing when you have a tuba wrapped around your body like a hermit crab shell. What a sousaphone is. And at the end of the halftime show, we were supposed to march into the formation of the Phantom Mask. but we never did it right. So there was just this horrible, like, distorted Picasso face staring up at the confused crowd every week. I think, though, for me personally, the catastrophically terrible musical choices were the least of my problems. So I was on the drum line. I played the snare drum. And high school drumline harnesses claim that they're unisex, but what they actually mean is made for boys. Here's why I say that. For the harness to work properly, it had to sit totally flat against your chest. And what a year for me to go up 2 cup sizes. That was deeply unfortunate. So my drum never fully locked into place. And most of the time that was okay. Gravity would keep it where it needed to go. But we had this one maneuver in the beginning where the marching band had to run and form a tunnel for the football players to run through, which is a disgusting thing to have to say as an adult, but it was true. That's what we did. And I have a bad ankle and I don't run fast, so I never got there in time. And our sociopath band director was an absolute jerk about it. Like, he humiliated me in front of the clarinet section. Cool kids for some reason. I don't remember why. And anyway, I was determined to finally not mess up the opening act. So I was going to do it. So there it was. We get the cue. You know, the lights are bright. The crowd is cheering. I take off with this big jolt to try to run into formation. And my drum pops off my harness and proceeds to roll down the football field. And I am no longer running to formation. I am chasing this runaway drum. And I didn't catch it in time. So the football players had to make these big gazelle leaps to clear the drum. And I'm just frozen in place. And our sociopath band director looked at me, went like this, and then mimed playing. So I just quietly cried and pretended to play my drum as the football players leapt over it. And I feel like you might think now, you know, I'm a fish biologist. Maybe I have a more dignified life. And you would be wrong. Now my life is just a series of aquatic mishaps. I think the worst thing that ever happened to me in the water was the upside down jellyfish. Now, the upside down jellyfish is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a jellyfish with the stinging tentacles pointing up. And one day, an upside down jellyfish was minding its own business, and the last thing it saw on this earth was my ass descending from the heavens. So that's correct. I jumped off a dock and assassinated a jellyfish with my left butt cheek. I highly don't recommend this because it turns out that when you basically explode a jellyfish into your body, all of its stinging cells fire at once. So the pain is impossible to describe. And I immediately started hollering. And I swam over to the dock and got out of the water, and you could see the gelatinous shreds of its corpse all up and down my butt cheek. Now, at the time that this happened, I was a student on a field course, and our professor heard about this incident and wanted to see the injury and make sure I was okay. But the thing about our professor is that he was a very young, handsome man, and that was like, I literally couldn't think of anything worse. So when he came to my room to try to make sure I was okay, I was like, "That's okay, professor. You don't need to see it. I'd rather die." That seems preferable. And he was like trying to make me feel comfortable. He could see that I felt awkward. He was like, "Listen, don't worry. I have many sisters. You will not show me anything I have not seen before." Which then led to the question, "Professor, what were you doing with your sisters?" Don't think was the intended effect of that warning. Anyway, long story short, I did have to show our very attractive professor the distorted nest of welts that my left butt cheek had become. And I think that was more painful than the moment of the sting. But I don't want you to think that my whole life is just the various injuries. I mean, that is a lot of what it is, but there's a lot of joy in what I do. I love the fish I study so much. They are called Cory catfish. They're really common in the aquarium trade. Not to brag, but I was specially invited to the All Aquarium Catfish Convention today. It was a doozy. I got to meet the founder of Planet Catfish, the online forum for ornamental catfish enthusiasts, of which I am a proud member. I had a picture taken with him, so I'm really still riding that high. Planet Catfish is the most wholesome place on the entire internet, which is ironic given its name, but it predates the more modern usage of the term catfish. So Planet Catfish is just a bunch of people who love catfish that are all trying to help each other make their catfish happier. And every once in a while, an internet creep gets confused and tries to like drop into like a posthumous breeding page and was like, hey, anyone want to buy pictures of young women? So now Planet Catfish needs a catfish moderator for the internet creeps. There was some really hot debate at the catfish convention. My favorite debate actually concerns my fish, Corridor's catfish. And the debate is, how do they actually mate? And things get kind of confusing when it comes to sex and Cory catfish. And it starts normal. You know, the males sort of like try to display for the females. And the females, whenever they choose a male to mate with, the male then does this distinctive movement where he presents his belly to her. And then the female latches her catfish face, which last week it looks like that, onto his junk. I'm a scientist. And then she drinks his sperm. No, this is documented in the literature. No one ever expects fish blowjobs. I don't think that's ever what anyone thinks. I think, yeah. And I don't know if I should say I'm sorry or you're welcome or both, but that's where I'm at in my life. And the paper where they described this, the scientific paper, is amazing because they clearly wrote the introduction before they got the results. So the introduction is like, and then maybe she drinks his sperm, but that would be insane. And the results were like, we can't believe this is what we're saying, but we think she drinks his sperm. It's amazing. Anyway, I feel like I have conveyed some information / traumatized everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'll leave you there.
Yay.
That was really good. I was also a band nerd, so I completely understand the whole like I was a clarinetist.
The clarinets were actually pretty nice to me, though, to be fair. Like, they were nice about the humiliation.
But I'm also a double D in boob. So it's like a question of where do you put your arms, above or below the boobs? So it's like
not obvious. I'm with you.
Yeah, these are real life questions, people. Riva, where can our people who are watching, where can they find you on social media?
So you can find me at Riva J. Riley, cross platforms. That's me.
Okay, and do you have anything coming up that you would love to tell us about?
Yeah, so actually Monday I'll be at a DC venue called the Artemis. So if you're in DC, come check it out. There's also going to be jazz.
Ooh, now see, I can't wait to I go to DC. I try to get there out there once every couple of years. So if I'm out there, boy,
Please.
Riva, definitely coming to see you.
I'd love that. I can show you my fish. I have so many, not to brag.
That's gonna be my new favorite. Don't catfish the catfish. Up next, we have a very funny comedian who I love because she's like closer to me and I feel at home with her. So please give it up to the lovely Laura.
Oh, thank you. Riva, I love that you have a cat and catfish. That's commitment. Some people only do one or the other. And you brought back memories. I was a yell leader in high school, which is not a cheerleader. It's people who failed being cheerleaders. So we just had everybody yell. But then I had to go to football games and I was like, I don't like this. I'm going to do choir. They get to go to Disneyland. So my name is Laura. Thanks for having me. And I am an avid indoorsman. I am not athletic, but I do buy the tampons with the ladies playing soccer on the box. I belong to a small group of intellectuals who believe snow globes are flat. We are flat snow globers. I've been married for 10 years. I just celebrated my 10-year wedding anniversary.
Mm.
Thank you. The key to a lasting marriage is not being able to afford a divorce attorney. But I have been married so long, like I'm turning into a single woman, you know, like now I'm really into cats. I got super into astrology and I downloaded Tinder. Whoever came up with the phrase, there's more than one way to skin a cat, must have had a terrible childhood and at least 2 cats. Dandruff shampoo and puberty. If it's tingling, that means it's working. I like to live vicariously through other people. My best friend right now is going through a breakup, so I got bangs. My husband came home and he was so confused because his stuff was on the lawn. I'm just gonna tell some jokes now. So a sharknado is a tornado made of sharks. A bear nami is a tsunami made of bears. And a McFlurry is soft serve ice cream with bits of candy. I once saw an ice cream machine at McDonald's with a trophy on top of it. And I swear to God, I thought that better be a participation trophy. It's a thinker. All right. I put on a little weight, or as I like to call it, the COVID-19. My mom said to me, Laura, she said, Laura, you don't look fat. You look content. Like, Mom, content is 5 pounds away from jolly. Like, I'm getting to the point where when I say, like, I could just eat you up, like, it's less of a compliment and more of a threat. Like, I'm so hungry, I would eat food for thought. I would join QAnon for the donuts. I don't know, Malaise sounds like something I wouldn't be opposed to putting on a steak. But I did just join AA. I joined Anorexics Anonymous just to feel really good about myself. You know, there's like, hey, everyone, look how well Laura's doing. Even if you're 30 minutes late, you're guaranteed coffee cake. Guaranteed. If you ever go to Bulimics Anonymous, you'll always be able to find a hair tie. But I am trying to lose weight. So I went on a diet. But you know how diets work? You get cheat days, you know? Yesterday was my cheat day. So I fucked Jeff Goldblum. I'm allergic to down, so I'll never be on The Price is Right. I have a legitimate fear of dying like Elvis, you know, like straining on the toilet for a bowel movement. I have an illegitimate fear that Maury Povich is my father. I lived in San Francisco for 18 years and I just moved to the suburbs. And there's like, it's shocking. There's so much space here. Like there's so much room here that the KFC and the Taco Bell are separate. It's mind-boggling. I have a 6-year-old. She's like 4 feet tall, 40 pounds, roughly the size of a young Danny DeVito. My husband and I argue over who she looks like more. Like we agree she got his nose, his eyes, and my vagina. She has no idea who Larry David is because she's 6, but she'll walk around after lunch going, those were some pretty good nuggets. My partner's trying to convince me on a tattoo for our daughter, Posey. Something sweet like a flower or something, but I don't know. I think 6 is too young for a tattoo. I watch a lot of Law and Order, so I never go jogging. It's a guaranteed way to find a dead body. Don't do it. I'm gonna, okay, this is like topical because it's October. So on October 31st, the veil between the physical world and the spiritual world is as thin as it ever gets. Like peak runway Kate Moss thin for Halloween. This allows for the living and the dead to communicate. And every June in San Diego, the veil between the Marvel universe and the DC universe is as thin as it ever gets. Like Gambit's playing card thin for Comic-Con. And this allows for the different subreddits to communicate. I'm gonna end with a joke and say, whenever God closes a door, it's because he's not trying to heat up the whole neighborhood. I am Laura. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. I'm gonna add myself here. So so I always love your last joke because have you seen what's that? It's Candy on Hulu.
I have not.
So there was a story that she starts out with that says, when God closes a door, he always opens up another one for more opportunities. And of course, it turns out that it was because she got away with murder. Spoilers alert.
Yeah.
So, Laura, always think about that. There's always another door open for you.
Yeah. The original phrase is whenever God closes a door, like he opens a window, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Um,
So I guess there's your story is that he will always open another window.
for you to possibly jump out of, you know, like it could always get worse.
That's right. Where can we find you on social media?
I am everywhere. So TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm at Laura Tells Jokes.
And do you have anything coming up that you want to share?
Yeah, tomorrow evening I'm doing KO comedy. So you go to kocomedy.com. It's a free show.
Yep.
I'll be telling more jokes.
Awesome. Thank you. Woo, KO comedy. I do like that one too. That's another good one. Not that I've been trying to get on it or anything.
Noted.
Noted. Up next, we have another one of my favorites who's been around that I've seen, and I never know if she's gonna either yell at me, scream at me, or just give me good advice for getting something on sale at a garage estate. So please give it up for the one and only person in Nebraska, Cherie.
For real. For real. For real. Look what I got at a garage sale. So sparkly. And we don't know if it's a vibrator, a microphone, or just something that you just dangle and maybe whip somebody with. I'm not sure, but she said $5. I say, I'll give you 3. Yeah, so I will just pretend that we're talking on this baby. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I got myself some drumsticks here, and look at that. Oh, I'm telling you, that's right. Never a dull moment in my apartment. And I got something safe to suck on that tastes good too. That's safe, yeah. Suckers. The only thing that lives in my apartment besides me is my vibrator and my pussy. And you already seen my pussy. It was black, Elliot. No, that's it. That's all that's allowed in my house to stay is that. I had an Al Bundy. I'm Peg. I had an Al Bundy for 24 years. And the only reason why we lasted 24 years is because I could go ahead and stay there for a while and then move out. And he was a mechanic, not a shoe salesman. I could buy my own shoes. When it came to cars, I wrecked them. They called me Crash with a capital K. Yeah, I was bad at driving. And, you're young and stupid before you're old and wise, as you can see. It happens that way. We do some dumb stuff, okay? I'm a mother against drunk drivers, but I was a young and stupid drunk driver. Yeah. Just because you get hit by a big truck doesn't mean you necessarily wake up. I know this. I didn't wake up. Yeah. People prayed that I get laryngitis. And then when I was in a coma, they prayed I'd wake up. That don't make sense, does it? They don't want you to talk, but then they don't want you to go to sleep and not wake up. Okay, all right, you want me to talk? Okay, all right. Pray I wake up. That's good. So then I woke up. And then I couldn't talk. But I could point at numbers and stuff and get mad if they brought me 7-Up. I wanted diet 7-Up. But when you got a trach, you can't say diet 7-Up. You got to spell it. You ever tried that? It's a tough thing sometimes. And it's then you wake up and you don't have no teeth. They flew out the window. For years, I didn't know where those teeth were. If they were on somebody's mantle, I had dentures. Don't worry, they weren't all inside my teeth. They didn't just all of a sudden just fly out. My dentures flew out the window. Had you scared there, didn't I? Yeah. Well, anyways, this story happened that a couple years ago on the news, the cops they had a jar with dentures in them. I'm like, oh my God, those might be mine. I wonder if my DNA might be on those. It's been a good 15 years. I hadn't hit that truck. Maybe those are mine. Could have been. Never know. Right now, they got my name on them, just in case I lose them. I don't know about you, but I've lost my dentures before. I've had people go in the dumpster. I had some trashy mouth for my dentures. Yeah. All right. Let's not go there. Okay. All right. We won't go there. I don't know about you, but I've had to glue my dentures in so many times. I've had dentures since I was 25. So I've had to put Orajel in my mouth. I guarantee my intestines, they're probably got a lot of zinc in them. Yeah. You ever heard that? You heard that commercial? Zinc free Orajel? Yeah. Got it. I just thought I'd put that in there. Okay. So anyways, I'm living in Nebraska. Ever been there? Oh my God. Yeah, that's what you'd say. It's Omaha, but I say, oh my God. After you meet me, you probably say that too. Oh my God. Yeah. My name's Cherie Pryor. I know you probably expected Richard. Need change colors, LED light, something. No, not happening. Still this color. But I have caught myself on fire. I kind of make people laugh every once in a while. I can tell you some things you shouldn't do that I've done. Like turn a gas stove on and then think to yourself, why did I do that? Then 5 minutes later go, oh yeah, a lighter. Yeah. And then go and turn and then light it. After 5 minutes of turning it on, poof, there goes your eyebrows and your hair and your face. And your boyfriend, when you're 20 years old, goes, oh, I told you not to do that after you get stoned. Here's the wet washcloth. What a kind guy, right? Yeah. Don't do that. I've never lit a gas stove since then. That was 40 years ago. Yeah, I'm telling my age. I'm 60. Proud of it. I've had more lives than a litter of cats and then some more. That's right. We'll leave this. I'm telling you. I'm still sitting up. I'm living on a 3rd floor. Do you know why? Because they didn't have a 1st floor. Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, makes sense to me. Oh, let me have a drink of water. What's it say? At my age, it's all been folded, stapled, spindled, and mutilated. Here's to me. I can't believe that's what it said. I had no idea what the hell this cup said. I guess it fits the scene, doesn't it? Oh my goodness gracious. You got too much silverware in your drawer? Because I do. Too many knives, forks, spoons. Have you spooned lately? I've been forked. Been too many forks. No, I haven't been forked in a long time, actually. I know that's a little personal, but I'll tell you about my vibrators later. Why I put condoms on them. But we only got 30 seconds left, so I can't tell you all my personal things. You'll have to stay tuned until next week. Or the next time I'm on here. Yeah. Oh my God, Nebraska. Come on by. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And where can we find you on social media?
Oh, Miss Sassy Neighbor. Never been married, always been sassy, always been somebody's neighbor. Anywhere, just Google me.
And do you have any shows coming up?
I never know. I take one day at a time.
Ooh, you live in life on the edge like I do. Everyone always asks me, do you prep? Do you have stuff that you do? Nope. I wake up and go, what am I doing today?
That's it, girlfriend.
It's always a surprise. You and me can be surprised together.
Amen.
That's right. All right. So speaking of dentures, I'm going to have to, get in on this a little bit. I love Sha Rita's face. She was like, what? I'm going to try out some of my Halloween jokes since we're all here before we bring up. Because everybody has something to say about Dahmer right now. And I am going to too, because I am a white person. And I have not watched the show. But when I was in graduate school for my psychology degree, I did my thesis on Dahmer. Of course I did. Because Dahmer is the ultimate Karen. He will kill you and complain because you taste bad. It's true. And I think about these things like, does he walk outside like during the fall and say, ooh, smells like fall, y'all. Pumpkin spice in the air. I bet I can sink my teeth into it. And if he had dentures, that would take away from some of the sensory that he would get out of sinking his teeth into it. You just added to my act, Cherie. All right. So tonight for your final act, are you guys ready?
Oh.
It is one of my other favorite people in the world who also has a horror Halloween-y theme going on, because of course they do, because we both enjoy it. See, it is your awesome headliner who talks about, again, parenting, living in what they call she calls the island that is Texas. I think we have to get better education for Texas. But I am proud to announce your headliner for tonight, Sha Rita.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's great to be here. How y'all doing? I hope
Woo,
you can
good.
hear me. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, because my daughter decided to fall asleep next to me. She has a whole room. So this is the Zoom comedy. This is how you know you're making it in business when your kid is snoring. So if you hear snoring, it's not me, I promise you. And that was my disclaimer, because if you hear snoring, my joke ain't that bad. I know it's not that bad. That she would just fall asleep right there. So yes, I'm here to celebrate with you all. It's October. October's my favorite month. It's not only just because it's my birth month, but it's because of Halloween. And it lets me know that I need to run away from home in like 2 months, because December's right around the corner. And these kids are going to ask me about Christmas gifts. You're not getting no Christmas gifts. Why? One year they asked me like, oh, you're going to get us a new dad? What's wrong with the one you have? He's like, the one we don't see? That's not my fault. That's not my fault. What can you do as a child of divorce? You just gonna have to take that L. And they're like, another Christmas, they're like, well, we want the PlayStation 5. It's brand new. It's coming out. And I was like, you know what else is coming out? But, she's right there. I got to be nice. My anger, that's what's coming out. Okay, I have to pay bills. And they're just like, well, if you got a real job. Yeah. So they're up for adoption. There's 4 of them, they don't cook, they do not clean, but I'm pretty sure they're of value some kind of way. I won't find out right now. And then the oldest is 18. I'm so happy that he graduated high school this year. So I'm just like, yeah. But it's weird having an adult in your house when you've been the adult the whole time. So it's like, all the kids go to school. Now why are we looking at each other? Like, what are you doing here? He's like, I live here, don't I? You do, but why are you here now? Like, I'm used to you being gone from 8 to 3. Like, that's my time, to walk around my house butt naked, free, and, do the sexy time or something. But now that you're here, I can't do that. He's like, well, I would go to school, but I want to work. Okay. So where you want to work at? He's like, oh, I want to work at Target. I was like, okay. Did you fill out the application? He's like, yeah. I said, all right. So when they call you for an interview, he said, oh, yeah, they're not. I said, why not? Well, I applied for the manager position. You just graduated high school. What made you think that you could just apply for the managerial position? He's like, well, I babysit my brothers and my sister. That count, right? Kids come from 2 parents, right? So I'm not saying that was 21 or 23. I'm pretty sure he got 23 chromosomes from his dad. I'm saying that's from his dad's side of the family. He didn't get that from me. I'm not claiming that. I'm not. Right? I'm not saying he's dumb. He graduated high school. He graduated. I've seen the paper. I don't know why he thought manager position. Do you know how many people could just come out of high school and get a managerial position, a CEO corporation position? Son, I'm not trying to like dampen and step on your hopes and dreams, but somebody should. I'm here for you. He can't hear me upstairs. I don't care. You can tell him what I said. I don't care. Because we have to give our children a level of reality that entry level. You don't want a job where you picking up mail, washing dishes, spilling drinks at a bar, something normal. Like, why'd you start so high? He was like, well, you always taught me that we're supposed to have dreams and aspirations and aim for the top. I was talking shit. That was for high school, like kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, that level. I didn't say just go out into the world and be great, like right away. Like, you gotta fall on your face, you gotta stumble, you gotta like fuck up. You skipping steps, son. You skipping steps. And my daughter, she's 12, so I might get it right with her. Don't hold me to it. So that's what I'm like, yes. And then he got back at me. He was like, your birthday's coming up. I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm not getting you anything. I said, you can't. You don't have a job. So he was like, but remember all those little macaroni postcards I would make? So if you're a mom, you have those like arts and crafts that kids make in school. I actually made a scrapbook and I kept all of them. I'm gonna burn them tomorrow. I like it's called clutter, and then I'm gonna be a hoarder, and it's not fair to me. No, when you move out, I can't give it to you. I no. So my son's like, so this mean I'm not in the will anymore? You still in the will. Still in the will. But like I said earlier, they still up for adoption. Come help me. So yeah, so my favorite pastime is like I like to go to karaoke. I don't know how many people like to go to karaoke and go sing. You know, you do.
Yeah.
So like I'm not shy like I used to be. But it's funny when I walk into a karaoke bar and everybody looks at me and they're like, oh, they're expecting me to sing like some Mary J. Blige, some Cardi B, and I hit them with the Josie's on a vacation far away, you know? Dress it up and talk it over. And they're like, no, you're not supposed to be singing that. And I'm like, what? Why not? Yeah, I don't want to lose your love tonight. Like, that's my jam, you know? Or wait, you want to hear some like Burning It Down from Jason Aldean? I got you. They're just like, no, sing your people's music. I was like, ooh, my people? I don't know any Native American songs. I don't. Talk about cultural appropriation. I don't know any of that. And then they got mad because I'm in El Paso, Texas. I don't know how you got El Paso, Texas as an island. So I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York is an island. El Paso's different. So when I walk in, you know, everybody's singing like rancheras, vaquera songs, you know, and I might hit them with the Como la flor, you know, so Selena, because I'm trying to fit in. It ain't work. It didn't work when I was dating their daddy. Their daddy's full Mexican and it didn't work then. So my friends are like, so are you gonna like date another race? I'm like, there's more? Like, there's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. I'm all for interracial relationships. Look at my last name, Gonzalez. Because somebody actually asked me, they was like, how'd you get your last name? And I was like, oh, what? Like from a man. Same way you got it. We still need men for things like that. You're either going to be born from a man or you're going to marry one. And Godspeed if you marry one, because it was a waste of time. 8 years. 8 years. And a lot of people are like, well, why did you keep the last name? I kept the kids. Do you know how hard it is to go out in public with the last name and then like you don't have anything to show for it? It's like trying to build up your credit and you don't have anything to show for it. You can't buy a house, you can't buy a car, but you have like a 450 credit score. And you're like, what are you doing with your life? Applying for managerial positions. I don't know. Like I'm messing up. But I'm okay with it. You know, I'm okay. Oh, but for those of you who haven't seen me in a while, I messed around and got a boyfriend. Oh! No, thank you for cheering me out. So, but here's the thing, like he's like spicy. Yes, he wanted to spice up the relationship because he's like, you know, I'm a Gemini. And I said, yeah, I survived the Mercury retrograde too. Yeah, I'm a Libra. I don't know if Gemini and Libra go together. So we're still figuring that area out. So he takes me to a kink class, right? And I'm like, oh, Shibari. I thought that was for a new name for sushi. It's not. It's a rope tying class. So we learn to tie each other up, but the problem is they didn't teach us how to take the knots out. So he's still tied up. That's not my fault. So that's what he wanted. He wanted to be tied up, and you know, he's around here somewhere. I send food to him. Uber Eats delivers, so he'll be all right. And if his mom was watching the show, your son is so lovely, man. Awesome. Yeah, because he told us, you know, we have a little bit of an age gap. It's only 13 years. So I'm going to be 45. He's 32. See, he's legal. An age gap is good if he's legal. Is he smart? He's a guy. So, but then what does that say about my dating preferences? Look, I don't look my age. So when I met him, he thought he was older than I was. I was like, you're so smart right there, buddy. Yes. So the problem with dating a cougar is like, yeah, we come with kids, and that's it. We don't bring anything to the table. I don't know what he saw in me. I still don't. He's a great guy. He really is a great guy because he's still tied up. And I always tell women the best way to make sure that your man is not cheating on you, tie his ass up. Because only you know where to find him. Only you know where his food preference is. What's there not to love about that? And then when you join the kink community, they'll always ask you, like, would you try anything else? And I was like, immediately, I'm allergic to pineapples. Listen, the fruit. I know the upside down pineapple. I know that means swinger. I get nauseous real fast. I can't swing. Look, and then I'm having a hard time pleasing one man. You want me to please others, and then you want to throw females in the mix. It's a smorgasbord. It's too much, And then one girl was like, well, you don't have to do anything. Just lay there and enjoy it. The last time somebody told me to lay down and enjoy it, I have 4 kids. Did I mention that? 4. I'm not laying down anymore. I'm not falling for the tricks. I can't. So, and then they have naked yoga. I'm 150 pounds. No, we're not doing it. And I'm all for body positivity. I really am. However, I want to publicly shame myself in my house, not out in the world. Home. There's a difference. And you're like, well, how is that body positivity? I said, I'm positively not scaring you with my body. See how that works? It's an even exchange. I stay home and do my crazy stuff, and you don't have to see that. But I know there's some guys that would. They're just like, well, you're a comedian. You get up on stage. You have to have confidence. I said, really, I just talk and hope for the best and see what happens. I don't have to take off any clothes. I don't have to do anything. They was like, oh, but that would be a good gimmick if you did. You'd be like a pole stripping comedian. But and men rule the world. Why? Why are they running the world? What? Stop. So when am I gonna get a female president? That's what I'm up for. Not me, but a female president. What? I'm so ready because a lot of things have to change. Like my pay needs to go up and stay there. All right. There should not be a glass ceiling. No. We should be okay, not dominant, but we should be up there. Because I was gonna say we should be dominant, but then I was like, that whole feminine energy is what is needed in the world. But my cousin, she ruined my life when she told me I was mass femme. I was like, what is that? She goes, oh, see, you give off this vibe that you're gay, but not gay. Like, what? She's like, yeah, you should start dating girls. And I was like, oh, I know I've cursed on here. I don't know if I'm supposed to curse, but she was like, yeah, ever since I started eating pussy. And I was like, wait, did you just hit on me? We're cousins, but not like from Alabama cousins. Like, she's like, you would be good in that area. So I'm not, needless to say, I stopped going to all family reunions. I can't do it. No, there's just too many labels already, And I always look at myself as an ally to the LGBTQIA plus community, but it's like, I'm relearning the alphabet all over again, and it's confusing, And then I was at a show, and I was like, yeah, I was trying to tell a joke, and I was like, yo, save us the D. And this guy in front was like, the dick. And I was like, you're sharing, right? Because it's really hard to date a guy. Well, the guy I'm dating is like, from what I know, he's not bi, but like, can you imagine as a female that's straight, we're already competing with other straight females to get dick, and now we have to compete with the guys that want the dick too, and they put their makeup and hair on better than I do. The competition is fierce, is all I'm trying to say. It's fierce, and then, and I got perverted friends. They're like, well, you could be a throat baby. No, I can't. 2 inches, maybe 1. No, what am I gargling? I can't. It's already hard dating. See, you're checking, right? To see how much you could take. No, I need my voice for like important things. So yell at my kids are doing dishes. Not sitting there talking about, you like that? No. I was going to do it. I can't do it. So my dating life is slim to none. And I tried all those dating sites already. I found my guy at an open mic actually. So because I've been on Bumble, I've been on Tinder, I've been on all these dating sites, and they all say the same thing. We don't date single moms. Dude, you're on a dating site. What do you think? Who else is on there? Single moms. We're on the dating site because we refuse to leave our houses. Okay. All my stuff is here. And I always thought that a guy would break into my house and date me for that way, you know, like Rapunzel, but I don't have hair. That's what I was expecting to happen. Because they always say, like, you need to, after a divorce, you need to put yourself out there. No, I'm shy. Bullshit. I am shy. I'm really shy. And it's hard, you know, it's hard dating. And then, you know, with a little bit of time I have left. So I like to watch porn, right? But I watch the handicap porn. Think about it. Yes, because my boyfriend is handicapped. So it's perfect because I'm trying to like find new ways. Remember, we got to keep it spicy. He's already tied up, you know, and then it's like when we're hot and heavy, you know, he's drooling, I'm drooling to match his energy. So we got to drool together to see who keeps it wetter longer. You know, it's fun. It's there. The romance is there. I can feel it, you know? And he's like, well, you're not dating me for my disability check, right? And I said, oh, sweetie, no. Remember, I'm the cougar. I'm the half sugar mama. I take you 20s and you get a 4 for 4 on me, my treat. Okay. You can handicap park us anywhere you like. That's what we do. Yeah. But we both have handicap parking. So it's like, who's driving? You fly, I buy? Which one? Love it. Love it. So all I'm trying to say is don't knock the special needs community. All right. Everybody has an advocate. Everybody's like, you know, we are here. We are here. Date you a special needs guy. I promise you. Like, you'll be drooling for days. He's fun. I'm only talking shit because I know he's watching. He's gonna be like, I don't care. I don't care. His friends are like, really? You go out in public with her, bro? Yeah, we do. And can you imagine moving in? I would have to like modify the house and get ramps and stuff, and I don't want to do all that, you know. But because I'm lazy. You know, he can't get up the stairs, but I can. I'm like, tag, you're it. That's my so wrong. It's not cancel culture if, you know, it's not cancel culture, you know. But that's the whole thing. That's what I'm just trying to say, that I am a happily dating cougar. Yay. That tells jokes for a living. Yes. And I have braces, so I still got on my teeth. I'm so sorry. Like, that denture story scared me a little bit. So yeah. But I'm trying to, yeah, I'm trying. So thank you. You guys been awesome.
All right. Woo! Thank you, Sha Rita. All right. Let me add myself. I don't know. I have so much I want to say. All I know is that I now have a new perspective that Sha Rita is the one bringing cougars and the WAP as she ties them up. And that's all we've got. Wow, I just learned a whole bunch about you. And aside from jokes aside, and comedy and everything, I just want to say thank you, because I'm part of that special needs community. I am epileptic, and actually one of the first jokes I ever wrote was that the milkshake brings my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and I just wish it would bring all the girls too, because I'm also bisexual. And it's always stayed in my intro, and I love it. And so thank you for looking past all of that to, you know, date somebody who is maybe not able-bodied. So where can we find you on social media?
Social media, my name is Sha Rita. You just take the I and turn it into a 1 on Twitter and Instagram. And then Sha Rita with the space between the A and the R on Facebook. I don't know why I made that complicated. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I saw the Twitter one too, I think, or someone, I think it says Tor Tiger Lily is like is like the
Really,
actual
it's my
name.
Twitch name. I'm on Twitch. I'm a gamer, and then until my consoles break, and then I host my podcast on there as well. So, and I tried to keep my name, but there's like 50 million Sharitas all of a sudden on Twitch. I'm like, why? Stop it.
Trust me, I know, because when I looked up your name, I really thought that there I was like, where is Sha Rita? Because there's so many. And do you have any shows coming up, virtual, live?
Yes, live. We at October 23rd, I'll be in San Antonio, Texas, doing the Chingona comedy competition. And then November 21st and 23rd, I will be in Houston, Texas, performing with Cool E Genti on it's like a untold stories. I'm going to be telling stories about the war.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. So get in contact with me after the show. All right. Thank you, Sha Rita.
Thank you.
This has been your monthly raw comedy. Again, if you enjoyed the show, please think about following Suitman Productions. You should, because Dante and I are pretty great. We've been friends for a long time. So he runs a really cool like lineup of other shows. I think he has like Jokes for Jewels, which I will also be on in person in November, I believe. He has a list of other shows, not only through raw comedy, but other inclusive stuff that he does, that includes cougar shows and SSI, Social Security influencers, and so many other things. I have been Polite Kitty. Come and follow me and all of your other comedians that you've seen here. So thanks, everybody.
Night. Thank you.